This violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blame Your Brother. We are back once again for episode 106. 106 episodes we are in. We're doing it. And thank you so much for hanging out with us, checking the show out and all that good stuff. Yeah, Blame Your Brother. It's a podcast. There's three of us that come to you every week. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D. Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, the spiritual midget, Nick Nickum, Glenn Jackson, so many more. And I am joined by this guy right here in this green shirt who sits to the left of me. It's my brother. It's Lee.
What up? It's the captain of the ship, the one and only LeBron Safety Pin.
And also, got one more. This guy over here to the right. He's giving out advice all the time. You guys know him as John.
Everybody, John here, a.k.a. Tico, the disappointed one, Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the madman.
They got John Tortorella. He's madman. All right,
Madman.
so there we go. That's three of us.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have madman. Okay, he's a madman.
That sounded just like that.
That's
If you ask
true.
me, I thought it was me. All right, so yeah, David Lee John, that's us coming at you. So we start every show about the same way. You know, we say things that are outlandish, sometimes incorrect, and so we present this moment for people, the hosts, to apologize, to offer any retractions, omissions, anything like that. So Lee, we'll start with you. What do you need to make apologies for anything this week? Dead air. All right, that is a no. What about John? What about you? Feel solid after the Mickey Rooney
I have
incident?
to apologize for my apology last week because
Uh-oh.
Mickey Rooney's estate called me and they didn't appreciate me mentioning him
Oh, really?
by name last week's show. So
It's the Mickey
I
Rooney, yeah.
apologize to Mickey Rooney's estate.
The Mickey Rooney podcast. We talk about Mickey Rooney all the time.
I apologize for calling John the ninja of podcasting then.
Oh, do you call him that last week?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he was, not like a stealth ninja, but like the streamer ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
the
that's
ninja
what- yeah.
of podcasting.
Yeah, yeah. Mike
I don't know what it has
Pence.
to do with
Mike
Mickey
Pence.
O'Rourke, but
I don't know. Who?
Mickey O'Rourke?
Meek O'Rourke?
Is that not who we're talking about?
No,
No.
Who are we talking about?
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney.
Oh, boy.
Sorry.
All right. Let me think. I do want to apologize for Shaquille O'Neal. I was supposed to call him back this week. We were going to hang out, cook some hot chicken together, and I got so busy this week that I couldn't call Shaq. So I'm sorry. Try next week. So I'm sorry. I really had some big
Yeah, I
apology.
mean, he blew up my phone trying to get to you.
I know.
He's like,
Hey, yo, where's David?
I'm like, I don't know where he is.
Some hot chicken. All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, let's talk about our week this past week then. John, anything happening in your world?
No, man, just working a lot.
Working the midnight shift. All right. There you go. Well, me and Lee, we did a couple of things this past weekend. We went to, so what was the official name of it? It was the ACLU benefit. I mean, pretty
Show.
much. Okay, ACLU benefit show. So me and Lee went to, what's the place called? The Crazy
Man,
Rooster.
you're just coming
the
up.
Crazy Rooster.
The Crying Wolf.
The Howling Wolf. The Crying Wolf. There you go. The Crying Wolf is where we went, which was a very cool bar. I mean, I loved the inside. It was cool. So we went inside. We went to the back room where they were having comedy, poetry, and live music. And I loved it, man. Our friend Mikah
You left off the political speeches, too.
Yeah, there was some political stuff in there. They hated Trump. I mean, no big shocker there. But we saw our
I mean,
friend,
who doesn't these days, though?
I mean, most everybody.
Okay.
Our friend Mikah Wyman was there. She was hilarious. All the comedians were funny. I never really had, I don't think so. I'd never been in a situation where I got to hear like live poetry read the way these people were reading it, and I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. What about you? Did you like the poetry?
Oh, the poetry was cool.
Oh, the
Very
one
much.
guy, the one guy had a hands up thing, and it was masterful. It was really good. So that was fun, and the comedians were funny. Lee ran into somebody he met at a new one time, and he ran to her at a wedding. He didn't say hi to her. It was very kind of weird. Am I missing anything there?
What are you talking about?
The comedian, are you listening? The comedian you knew And you went to the same. Y'all went
I
to
mean,
a wedding together.
I'd seen her at a comedy club. I thought she was
Okay.
pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw her at a coworker friend's wedding, and I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, well, maybe I'll see her at another show. And there she was. I just thought that was kind of cool.
All right. So he actually said, "Hey, saw you at a wedding." Blah blah blah. So she was funny. I forget all their names. I mean, unfortunately,
Dave's not big with names.
I'd written them down, but honestly, I don't have my notebook with me, so that's pretty lame of me. Maybe we can find it here. But it was good. It was a good time. You know, just hung out. Like I said, yeah, they definitely were anti-Trump. A lot of stuff was anti-Trump, and you know, what are you gonna do, man? It's just
It was an ACLU benefit show.
Yeah.
And what are you expecting? Were you looking for your fellow
No,
brethren? Like, where's my MAGA hats?
no.
Where's my MAGA hats at?
I would have thought that would have been bold if somebody would have.
They wanted you to give them 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes on the mic. I'm about to do a little set.
I mean, you know, hey, it's fine. You know, the ACLU, I like it. I do like it in theory. I really do. I think some of the things they encourage are great. You know, free speech is one of my big things in life, even if you don't like what the other person's saying. But I mean, sometimes they get a little bit extreme about
Like
things.
what? Like they were talking about, like they were trying to stop families being torn apart at the border and put in cages, and trying to use this money to reunite those children. So
I'm pro that, man.
What did you have? Did you have any problems with that? Was that too extreme for you? Too radical? Let me just say, I signed up. I put my name down on an email list and was like, if you ever need someone to call a senator, let me know. And I went up afterwards and said, I got a recording studio. Whoever comes like post-apocalyptic, like what was that movie?
Did you say this for real?
What was that movie with Patrick Swayze, the Red Scare or whatever?
Red Dawn?
Yeah, Red Dawn. I was like, if it's ever like a Red Dawn, just let me know and we can broadcast out of my basement. Like ACLU freedom fighters. So
Well, there you go.
I don't know. Do you want in on that?
If it comes down to that, sure. I mean, why would I not at that? If you're describing a situation where, yes, it would be
like
terrible.
like there's like an army of MAGA hat wearers like marching the street, like Trump gets
I'd be
impeached.
inside.
Trump gets impeached and they take to the streets and like, the ACLU has to go resistance underground and, we have to do kind of like a pirate radio studio type thing.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. That'd be a great life, actually. That might be better than the life I have now. Who knows?
John, you want in too? I can
I'd probably be one of the people wearing the MAGA
I mean,
out there marching.
I'm not gonna lie. That was my first thought.
Yeah.
Really?
We might have to switch up locations.
So would you let John in if he was MAGA hat? But he's like, I still want to record you guys. I think you're cool, but
so he was wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah, he's part of the.
I mean,
he's part of the MAGA.
That's tough, man.
Army.
You know what I'm saying?
So what would you do? That's the question.
I might have to write Dear John a letter and ask because I'm torn. Because on one time it's like, but that's my friend. Maybe he's like undercover. He's
I
like
could
doing
be the bad guy, in the podcast or the stream or whatever, and be like propaganda for you guys.
But also you're like,
look at all those old, like those 1940s cartoons where all the bad guys were like either German or Japanese.
Yeah,
I could be that guy.
It would be like a Nazi hanging out with the Jews, man. It just wouldn't work. I mean, it'd be like, what are you doing here, man?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to like discover, was John really like marching in the streets, or was he like undercover? Like, I don't know. I would have to search.
I'd be way too lazy to march in the streets. So let's just get that taken care of.
Maybe.
Well, the revolution died that day.
Yeah.
So,
they're counting on us. They're screwed.
One guy didn't want to walk the streets. It screwed too much work. Okay, so that was good. I just sometimes when I go to these events, they'll be like, everyone out there needs to register to vote. And I'm like, but you really don't want everyone voting. You just want everyone voting that's on your side. I can't stand when people go.
Do they?
I can't when people go. I just want everyone to get out there and vote, man. That's what I want them to do. I want them to vote. I'm like, but that's a lie. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want your people.
Yeah. I don't know if they feel that way.
Yeah, I think so, man.
So like here, like this is what they were handing out here. I read through it. There was no edits that, as far as I know, it seemed like it was pretty much straight up the unedited Constitution. I would have to double check to make sure, but like I think they believe in the freedom of America.
Yeah, I mean, and so you'll go to right-wing events where they're handing out the Constitution. I mean, everybody's handing it out to everybody. We all love it.
And they're all wanting people to vote. I think that's
it's like the
fine.
Bible, dude. You can interpret it a number of ways. You know, I mean, you can read a text and he'll think it means one thing, you another, and that's just the way. And it's good because you don't want a doctrine that is 100% and can never be changed. So that is the good thing about the Constitution. So I like these groups. I like people that are passionate. I actually do say get out and vote. I don't really care who you vote for, but I'm not part of a political organization either. So, I've just come to the conclusion. Definitely not a Democrat. I'm definitely not a Republican. Like, I don't agree with most of the stuff they even say anymore. I'm just a man on an island, just by myself, and knowing my votes really.
You're just a man on the island.
It's never going to matter, really. I mean, truthfully, if you do not support one of the main two candidates, you're screwed.
I mean, that might change.
I mean, not in my lifetime, brother. I mean,
it might change soon.
I don't know.
We might have a special election coming up.
Let's stop dancing around the elephant in the room.
No.
Trump Nation. Give us a quick. We haven't talked about Trump in
I don't
want to
talk about Trump. I'm not finished with the ACLU story.
Do you think Trump's going to get
without a doubt
impeached?
That guy's what do they call it? When the president is in the office, a dead duck or something. What is it?
A lame duck.
A lame duck. That dude's been lame duck for 2 years. It's about time to sweep his ass out.
I want to get John's opinion. Is Trump going to get impeached?
I think the mass majority of the nation kind of feels like I do. They're too lazy to impeach him.
Too lazy to impeach the president. Wow.
John, at least John's keeping it real.
I mean,
how much? John Tortorella, a madman.
How much money is it going to cost to impeach him?
I don't know.
How much money is it going to cost?
It will cost a lot.
So let me get this right. Let me get this right, John. Your argument is the man deserves to be impeached, but it's going to cost too much money. That is insanity. What you are saying is insanity. You are a madman.
What I honestly believe is the office of the presidency does not mean a whole lot. That's how I feel.
Wow.
Since when?
For a while. But I mean,
you're out of your mind.
What do you mean a while? You have to. I mean,
all right, let's just move on.
I don't want to hear this.
No,
man.
It's not. It's not even worth listening to.
Yes, it is.
All right.
No, he didn't say it. He said he. Let's be honest.
I want to know when do you think the presidency just lost all credibility?
I
would
mid-90s.
In the 90s, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least give an answer. Okay. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what you say. I think you can tie a lot of it into Bill Clinton, and I think you can tie it into another generation coming up to start voting.
So you think the president's completely ineffective as an office?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You are out of y'all guys don't even understand then.
Tell us.
Like the dude appoints.
He nominates.
I mean,
he does not appoint. He nominates.
Okay, he nominates Supreme Court justices, and there's one coming up.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That is one of the big powers.
One of the big powers.
That's really the big
dude
power.
Has started a trade war with China.
He just can't do that
Canada.
on his own. He needs the House and Senate.
It was his idea.
Well, brother,
but he cannot do it on his own.
An idea don't mean anything if you don't have people behind you.
He's destroyed state parks, pulled back funding on the arts.
And guess what? He did not.
He's arrested people at the border. He was down there wearing a flak jacket and a gun, pulling people over and putting them in cages. Okay. I've seen video of it.
Here you go.
I've seen video.
So
there you go.
We're done. That's the end of that discussion. So, what else do you have to say about the ACLU night?
All right, whatever. You've already got me going.
You ran into some people.
No. I just went to the music act that we saw at the end. The Real Fiona blew my mind. So I give you crap all the time because you come in here and you're like, oh, I watched a movie and I wept like a little baby
all the time.
Last Friday night, I cried at a musical performance.
Yeah, you told me that.
I'm not even gonna lie about it. It wasn't like it wasn't like a 5-minute long sob, but you had to brush some tear away from that. I just felt really like the music performance was fantastic. The woman could really sing, and like the lyrical content was interesting. She sung a song about she said she was driving through what was it, Nevada, and she started seeing brothels, signs for brothels or whatever, and she's a musician. She's like, I gotta stop. So she stopped her car and she went in. They're like, she walks in. She's like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, what would you like? And she's like, I'm just a musician. I'm just trying to kind of observe and hopefully be inspired to write something. She's like, let me go get one of the girls to talk to you. So she went and got a prostitute, brought her out, and she kind of told her life story, and then she wrote a song about it. And the song was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
And, it's just very moving.
No, everything was great, it is. I just get around those people and I feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I could tell.
Like I feel like I'm being judged by them constantly.
What do you think they were judging you on?
I don't know what people think when they see me. I guess that's the first thing.
They
I don't
probably
know.
look right through you.
I don't know how they classify me.
Look at that dude with the dead eye, the cold eyes.
But you classify everyone when you go out. Like you meet. I do. Let me reiterate. I think John is sometimes a little bit. John is not that guy.
What do you mean?
I don't think you go into a bar and go, that guy's a hipster. I'm not going to talk to him or anything. I mean, I could be wrong.
I have a very negative view of people until I get to know them.
Okay, so you just dislike them all. Okay.
I assume the worst in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And including when I go out, especially when I meet people, and I do kind of label people.
Okay, so you're like me then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay.
Yeah. Big
but do y'all understand? Like that's part of the problem.
No, but
it's like y'all are reflecting that right back at yourself.
I thought I was making it perfectly clear that it was not good that I do that.
Well,
the way
to me,
I said it.
I'm not casting blame on them. I'm feeling inferior inside to any prejudgments I put on them. So like when they get around, like for instance, like roller girls or whatever, when I go see the National Roller Girls, I'm like, all these girls hate me. Like I just automatically assume that,
kind of true.
And they kind of have a vibe sometimes that I'm like, well, I think they do hate me. And then I get around like kind of hipster dudes. And a lot of them were kind of cool, but some of them I was like, yeah, they're looking at me going, this white guy, get this guy out of here. I think I'm just like John Hamm in Mad Men when I go out to these things. If you're watching, he used to go out to like poetry, beatnik things on the TV show, and I always kind of feel like that. I'm like, everybody think this guy's a square. What's he doing here? That's what I think people think about me. So
I mean, me and you are like polar opposites. Like when I'm having a good time, you're like clammed up in the corner. I'm trying to get you to like talk to people and have fun, and you refuse. And then like when you're having a good time, I'm like, this is so lame and boring.
Well,
I just want to
balance each other.
I want to eject out of the cockpit right now.
Okay, yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Why do you climb up, man? Why do you climb up?
I just told you why.
It's like your time to shine, you know?
I told you why. I just
gotta
explained
be the
it. Is he listening to me? I mean, it's hard for me.
Because I'm over here judging people.
No, but I'm judging them, judging me, which is even worse. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not judging them.
You're judging yourself.
I'm casting.
You're judging yourself.
My judgments about myself onto them back to me.
That's not. You should stop.
Well, I try, man.
Stop.
I try. It's a daily process, and and since I've gotten braces, it's even a little bit more weird, socially awkward sometimes talking to people because I'm like, well, that's all they're probably thinking about. Which maybe they are, maybe they're not, but that kind of factors into it as well. So I mean, it's a little bit of everything, man. I guess to me, I think most of us are kind of dealing with our own thing a lot of the time, and we're not processing that onto people. We're just thinking about ourselves.
Whoa, man, that's so deep.
I mean, but I think we get lost in it, like in traffic. People get in traffic, they're in their car, they're not, sometimes they're being jerks in the road and things. And normally it wouldn't be like that, but they're in their own little world. All they're thinking about is their car. How can I get to where I'm going? And I think that's a metaphor for life. And
but not everyone's like that. Only the a-holes. Only the a-holes focus on themselves when they're driving. The good people are like, oh, this guy has his blinker on and wants over. Here's a little space for you. Come on over.
So have you traveled recently? Because you're not describing this city when you.
Well, I mean,
that.
There's a lot of a-holes for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, do you like jump lanes and cut lines?
I'm a very.
Do you cause traffic problems?
I don't think so. I'm a very nice driver unless I get frustrated, and then I kind of bottle it to myself anyway. I'm not gonna give someone the bird or something, man. That's wild. But
I want to start a campaign where we get a bunch of groups and we hold signs at intersections of interstates that says like merge means everyone takes a turn.
There you go.
And then odd, even. I don't think it would work.
No, I think you'd probably cause more wrecks than you would prevent.
That's fine.
But I don't know, I had something there. That's such a goofy idea. I forgot what else you were gonna say. Well,
I'm open to ideas for improvement.
Literally, I mean was so goofy. The thought just went.
No, everyone's been driving on like merging on the interstate.
Yeah,
and it's like most people are like queuing up. It's like 2 lanes that go down to 1.
Yes,
and most people are like queuing every other one. And there's always that one guy that's like, nope, I'm gonna bust on.
Oh,
in.
have I done that before? Yeah, I
Why?
have. Because I've looked at I try not to do it anymore. I have done it in the past. Yes, because you're standing, you're in the lane you're supposed to be in, and you've made the decision to get over, and these people are just they're floating past you on the right side, and they just want to cut over, and it's like, bro, there's rules here, I guess they came out rules actually supposed to let people zipper merge anyway, so I guess the rules I made them up in my head all these years.
Zipper merge.
Yeah, that's
have you done a little studying up on traffic?
I've been reading a little bit,
So what's the solution?
You never. It's people are imperfect, so
computers.
Yeah, that would solve it. Self-driving cars would solve it for the most part. But
Okay.
but we're not. But us, the old geezers, we're not going to let go of the cars. The younger people will be like,
go of it.
well, the majority of people our age.
I'd put a bed. I would just go to sleep in my car and program it to leave in the morning.
They're not going to let you sleep in it.
Why?
Because what if something happens? Though you may have to take over.
Well, I'll be asleep. So Jesus,
you'll
take
be
the wheel.
Dead, man.
Yeah,
well,
hey, if I do say, you'll be able to say he died doing what he loved.
So it is people like you that are not going to get us a self-driving cars. It's not me. Would you trust a self-driving car, John?
No, because just mechanics of a car anyway. Something like you said. I mean, what if it gets a flat, and how does the car's computer know how to adjust for that?
Lee,
I mean,
you're the tech guy.
So you think you're the only person that's the only engineer that's been, well, we didn't think about if it got a flat. Damn. So many lives could have been saved.
I'm not saying it
John,
will work or
here is
will
the
not.
Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm saying that's why I wouldn't.
I don't know. The thing is, like, if you trust a car to drive, like, you're gonna have to have complete trust in it. You can't cherry pick.
That's why I wouldn't be in the car. That's why I wouldn't do a self-driving car.
And here's the other thing. Like, they literally program, like, morality decisions into them. Because the computer at some point decides, like, there's a bus full of kids and one person in this car and only one will come out. They're sending you over the edge of that cliff, brother. They're saving that bus.
Well, it was a good life, I guess. I mean, do you want?
Okay. Let's say you want
to take the bus out. I mean, what's the alternative
let's take the self-driving car out. Let's say you're on a mountain pass. You come around the corner, and a bus is there, and there's only 2 options: either head on that bus, or juke your car off the side of a cliff. Which one are you picking?
Is my son in the car with me?
Yes.
See you later, bus.
No, but
I think the human will to survive will probably make you hit the bus 99 times out of 100. I'm telling you, the human body's, it wants to stay alive. Like, that is its primary function. And usually if you put yourself in situations, that's why courage is such a big deal. Most of us like, explosion, I'm running away from it. Some people run toward it. But I think most people would hit the bus. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
So, but not even like a conscious decision, though. At that point,
I think it's primal at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. But anyway,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you can say what you think you would do.
As Jason Steen
Well,
says,
I mean, that's
it's like the trolley problem. That if you watch the Good Place, that's one that it's a lot of philosophies in it and ingrained into it, and one of it is the trolley solution. Trolleys coming off is about to go to 2 tracks. One track is your best friend. Another track is 4 random strangers. Which one do you hit? And that's one of the questions they ask on the show. Like, so really, you got to think about which one would you do? I mean, would you save your one good friend, or would you save 4 strangers? Is it 4 to 1, or 1 more important than 4 if it means more to you? I mean, these are philosophy questions,
Yeah.
So, just something to think about. All right, anyway. Yeah, so it was fun. Thank you so much, Mikah Wyman, for having us out. I think she's got another show coming up September the 1st, so I think we'll probably try to get out that way. Now, I'll tell you, I have been listening to, let's just say we got the exclusive dibs. Am I allowed to say this on a certain album? Or do I got to keep that quiet for a long time?
Oh, yeah, don't say that.
So just say I've been listening to an artist that's coming out with an album soon, and I am blown away. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe they were past guests. Maybe they weren't. Who knows?
Or whatever.
Who knows what I'm talking about? But I want to talk about that album when we can, because
oh, yeah, totally.
I am blown
Oh, you like
away.
that?
I've listened to it probably 20, 25 times.
So I did want to talk about one thing that I did do.
That you did do?
So went to like an art installation. I don't know if you've heard about this, Cracking Art. So it's at Cheekwood, and what they do, Cheekwood is a botanical garden, and they've taken, they have like a lot of flower beds, and they do installations. A couple years ago, they had Chilui, or what's his name, Chilhui, that does the glass blowing.
Yep.
But now they have these large plastic animals set amongst the gardens, and the point of it was that they're trying to make people understand that as life continues to evolve, that we're becoming more and more like in touch with like plastics and chemicals and stuff like that, and that we have a responsibility to like recycle, reuse, stuff like that.
Okay.
So why is it that like art itself always has to be kind of attached to these kind of like far out, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Well,
if you saw my tweet about it, it got like 5 views, so maybe not.
I did not see it. I did not see it. But I'm looking at it now. So I think artists generally are people that want to bust down the conformities. They're not people that are in boxes per se. I think people that are like that generally go engineering or math-based things. I think these are people that think outside the box, and so they want to really they want to create something that's visually pleasing to them, but also has a statement behind it. I think most artists you find, I mean, a lot of them may start off simple, but as they go on, they get more expressive with who they are and what they want to do. So, I mean, it's fun. It's the question, what is art? That goes back to Andy Warhol, but I love art, and something like this would be fun to go to. I used to go to, I had worked with a guy, and he did a bunch of like art exhibits and art things, and I went to him. I always had a good time. And once again, I did not feel at those places at all. But hey,
What was your judgments of others, of yourself at that?
Oh, this guy here, he doesn't know anything about art. He's a phony, square, white guy.
Bread.
Yeah, white bread. That's what I think. I think most people think, man, this dude's white bread as they come. He's probably a Republican. Probably, I think that's what they think about me. And I could be.
You think about yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
I mean, I think my biggest fear is being white bread, truthfully. I mean, if you want the truth, I don't know why. You could go back and try to figure that out from childhood. I don't really know. But I think there was so much of a negative enforcement.
I know what it is.
What is it? Go ahead. I want to hear what your theory is.
Well, generally when you think white bread, you think of someone who started out life basically with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot for yourself.
Right.
All of us have, compared to what we've grown up with and what we have, we are all giving a better life to our children than we got.
Yeah.
But when you say white bread, I think of like white trash. I don't think of someone that's born with a silver spoon.
No,
white bread's
that's what white bread
bread's
means.
different.
Yeah, white bread's like
this whole time I've been misled about this.
What kind of clothes? Like khakis, Oxford,
Polos,
Oxford shirts, things like that.
Oh no!
Oh, it's Lee.
What am I wearing?
But kind of like
the thing is like
I'm white bread.
Since you didn't grow up that way, but if someone were to look at your life, all the things that you did to accomplish that mean nothing really. Yeah. People don't realize that you grew up like, and
poor,
on the poor side,
poor side,
and
sure.
and the fact that your life doesn't look that way now. Everything that you've done to make your life better, it's like you didn't do it. It's like all your mom and your daddy did it, and it represents those people that we went to school with, because we went to school with, if it was either Asians or people who were more well off. Our school was a magnet school for ESL. And so there were a lot of people who English was a second language, went to our school as a magnet school. But
this sounds hilarious. There are two types of people in our school: Asians and white breads. It's like, what? What's going on at this school?
And then us.
Well, you're describing like Harvard or something with that statement, man.
Our school was way more diverse than that, by the way.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Laotians, Somalians, I mean, my God, a lot of Hispanic people.
Laotian is in Asia.
Yes, I gave you that one. That's true. But there were a lot of Somalians were there. Actually, a number of Russians were there, which was always kind of
also Asia.
Okay.
A couple of Californians.
California, dude. Yeah, man.
Anyway, so let's talk about a story. You want to?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so let's talk about a story that's been in the headline that I know you find very interesting. That's the Michael Jackson story.
Michael Jackson.
So for those that don't know, recently Michael Jackson for a long time has been the worldwide and America's #1 selling album. Thriller.
Yeah.
And it recently was in America only surpassed by the Eagles' Greatest Hits.
I think that shouldn't count.
Why?
I think greatest hits albums, it's cheating. It should not count as
How is it cheating? Michael Jackson had greatest hit album. It's not like he didn't have a...
Yeah, but they're not, I mean, I'm just saying that Thriller was not a greatest hits album. It was just an album. The songs were not previously released on a different album. Eagles' Greatest Hits, all of those songs, none of those songs are original. Off of that album.
Original.
For that album, they're not original.
I mean, but
they were all on different albums.
But if the album was like Nature Sounds by the guy that doesn't know how to play piano, and it won best album all time, it's best album. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not splitting hairs here.
I see John's point, but it's money. It's what sold the most. I cannot stand the Eagles, dude. I think they're one of the most overrated bands
they are kind of
in
overrated.
the world.
So their greatest hits doesn't even have Hotel California on it.
Right, which is wild.
It wasn't even made when that album was released.
So tell me, do you like the Eagles, Lee?
Yes, I do, but I'm not a super fan. Like I've known super fans.
What's on this album? Can we get
the
some
greatest
tracks
hits?
on the album?
Pull it up.
Okay, go ahead. So what
like
are some Eagles songs you like?
I don't know. Name some off. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not a super fan, but like when it comes on the radio, I'm like,
here we go.
Yeah,
Take it
easy.
Easy. Classic.
Terrible. Witchy Woman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, it's
you
so
don't like Witchy
bad.
Woman? It's so good.
Lion Eyes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Already gone.
This whole side A is like...
It's one of the...
I like Lion Eyes.
It's one of the worst side A's I've ever seen in my life. Desperado. And then the next side two, One of These Nights. Oh, man.
Dude, there's not a bad song on this album. I'm going to download this tomorrow. I'm going to buy it, actually. I'm going to try to make this go worldwide.
Keep going. Tequila Sunrise. You love that one?
I like another tequila.
You like Take It to the Limit. You like that?
I mean, it's maybe I wouldn't. It's a very popular song at the very least. Right? I've heard it so many times.
So Henley wrote all these pretty much.
And Frey.
Man.
All right, well pull up Thriller, or can you just name the songs?
Oh, no. I mean, I can name some of them.
Right, go ahead.
Well, obviously,
Thriller.
Yep, Bad.
PYT.
Is Bad on there?
No, Bad's not.
It's on Bad.
Bad's
the
on
actual
Bad.
album. Yeah.
Bad's on Bad.
Is Billie Jean on it?
Yes.
I guess so. I don't know. Lee said it.
Okay, here we go. Want to Be Starting Something.
Okay.
Ooh, man, such a good song. Baby Be Mine, not a hit. The Girl Is Mine. Okay, we all know that one.
Yeah.
Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, Pretty Young Thing, and then the one that wasn't a single lady in my life. So basically 9 tracks, 7 singles.
So why didn't Michael Jackson's greatest hits do as well?
Because you got this album here. Why do you need the greatest hits when most of his fans probably followed him because all of his albums were great? This band here obviously didn't have great albums. That's why the great. I'm just saying. Does that not make sense? I mean, if this.
So you think it's a technicality?
Yeah. Screw the Eagles. The Eagles and the Doors. They can go get lost somewhere. They're two of the most over. That's why nobody takes American bands seriously, because when you start listing the greatest American bands,
Michael Jackson is an American band.
I'm talking rock bands. Eagles. Who else do you got?
Kiss.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I mean, who else? Oh, Aerosmith. And Aerosmith was the poor man's Rolling Stones. Let's just be honest here. Let's call it what it is.
I agree with that.
That's why the Eagles, man. That's on your Mount Rushmore of rock American bands. That sucks, dude.
I mean, who else are you going to put up there?
If one
America?
of the Eagles walked in right now, wouldn't know who the dude
Neil
was.
Diamond?
No,
exactly.
I don't think we have great American.
I used to
bands.
be like you. I used to really hate the Eagles and was like, screw the Eagles. But then, like, I started listening to the music. Maybe I just got older, and I'm just like, okay, this is like easy. This is like elevator music.
Older? I'm older than you. What does age have to do with your taste has gone down? Can't trust you anymore.
I'm just saying it's that peace. It's that peaceful, easy feeling.
Here we go. Didn't the Eagles start out as Linda Ronstadt's backup band?
They did, but Glenn Fry wasn't in the. He was on Mark Rand's podcast. He was a very fascinating dude. I liked him. I almost was like, I kind of like the idea of the Eagles now because he was such a cool dude. But yeah, he met them. They were her backing band. He was in James Gang, which has some good songs on it. Then he kind of did his own thing, and then they became a band. So it was a great interview. Like if you don't listen to Mark Maron's WTF, go check it out. He's got some great interviews, and that was a really good one. So
there's another Michael Jackson story that came out this week.
What's this? What's that?
And that was Sony was taken to court and sued over the fact that they released a Michael Jackson posthumous album that included 3 tracks that were done by a Michael Jackson impersonator.
What?
And like when they first released it, there was a whole like on the internet, there was like fan groups that were coming together and they were like, I think there's these tracks that are not Michael Jackson. And Sony denied it forever. They went and faked it and they like tried to come up with a backstory about where it was recorded, how it was recorded. And it just came out that they had to reveal in court that yes, it was an impersonator.
Wow. What I mean, what are these songs? What songs he had written? Or?
This was his last album, so I don't think anyone.
So just unfinished tunes.
Breaking News, Keep Your Head Up, and Monster, and it appeared on 2010. That debuted on number 3 on the Billboard 200 within the first week of sales, at 228,000 records.
Wow.
And the Sony was just like, we got 3 spots to fill. Bring in the impersonator.
He didn't do a very good job.
Even like Michael Jackson, I think like it says here, his mother, Catherine Jackson, even came out and said the same thing. It was like, I don't think that's Michael.
Well, I mean, who else is gonna know? My mother can't tell.
Joe Jackson passed away not too long ago. I mean, we're not calling this guy like a hero, right? He was a terrible man. Like this is a bad person.
That's the consensus.
That screwed up all of those kids. Like they're all dealing with serious ramifications,
issues,
like forever. I don't know, man. I thought he was celebrated more than he would be. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I just thought of that. Anyway. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But just remember, kids, the record company would gladly steal all of your songs, have someone else sing them in a second if they could. Like that's not even debatable. Like they are all about money, and that's it. And they don't care. And this is it's kind of sad that a bunch.
I mean, Michael Jackson's a cash cow.
Well, it's sad. Everybody went along with him in the studio. It's like, what are you doing? I'd be, nah, man, we're not doing this. Like, I'm sorry, but I am not going to be part of this nonsense. Like, you hear, like, crazy things happen, and, like, no one steps up.
That's how that conversation started. And then they were like, well, we're going to give you ... And like, well...
I don't know, man.
That's how that went.
I don't think I can stand by.
But it's an album that was released after he died, right?
Okay.
So I'm assuming like maybe they just had the impersonator come in and cut some audio tracks. They already had for songs, or maybe they brought in some artists and they were just like, "Hey, we need you to cut some tracks." I mean, how would you, if you were an artist looking to break through, how would you say no to being on a Michael Jackson album?
But you're not on the album. You're pretending to be him on the album, which is going to...
Oh, well, that one guy.
You'll never be able to tell anyone. So what has it really done for your career? Absolutely nothing. It's blasphemous.
Well, maybe they told him it was just an impersonation.
He knew the album came out. He heard the tracks, dude. He knew, like, oh, that's me. I'm on this entire track credited to Michael Jackson. There's a lot of people to blame in this. This is unfortunate. It really is. That we live in a society now where nobody's going to step up. They're going to let this crack. This is insane. When you think about the number of people that had to sign off on this wasn't like me recording it on my laptop computer with the impersonator in front of me. This is a whole crew of people, producers, recorders, the singer.
But the thing is, though, like these people are probably all on Sony's payroll and have a whole lot of projects under their belt and in the future lined up.
I mean, you got to pick integrity at some point in your life. And maybe you're right. Maybe that's not the point to do it, but I don't think I could stand by. Not with the reverence I have for Michael Jackson's music career. There's no way. It is a slap in the face to him, to his legacy.
So what do you think? But I mean,
ridiculous.
what do you think they admit it in court? Like, is that the end of it? Can we like do class action lawsuit at this point?
Yeah, probably. Be looking for it. Yeah, they'll probably have to pay everybody back.
Fake a receipt from like 2010.
I don't know. All right, well, Michael Jackson, rest in peace, brother. Even if you may have touched those kids.
So there's another music story.
I said may have. I don't. He's another one where I'm like, sure. I mean,
what you're saying? I'm okay with that?
No. Not that I'm okay. I don't know if I should be listening to him. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The stream is going in and out. I don't know what's up with that.
Michael Jackson talk. We messed up.
Yep.
All right. What else we got in the news this week?
So we got
somebody passed away this week.
I don't know if you know who this is.
Ed King, former guitarist for Lynyrd Skynyrd, who co-wrote Sweet Home Alabama, dies at 68 years old. From Lee's favorite website, Fox News.
So, yeah, we were talking about great American rock bands, and you failed to mention Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, they would be one for sure. Well, I was trying to name bad ones to pair with the Eagles.
So who would you put in there with Lynyrd Skynyrd? Great American.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen.
The Grateful Dead.
No. Bruce Springsteen, and I'd probably put Aerosmith. Even if they're not, I mean, they're really not, and they kind of look like them. But I'd put Aerosmith on there. I mean, Aerosmith's first 3 albums they're burners. And then they said, we got to make that money, man. And then they just started writing. I'm telling you, that song from Armageddon is one of the worst songs ever written. What is it called? Don't Want to Miss a Thing?
Yeah.
That made that movie. The movie was not good anyway. That made that movie so much worse. I cannot stand. There's certain songs you can't stand. That and TLC's Waterfalls, I'm like, kill me. Like, if you put me in a room, you're like, we're just going to play these 2 songs over and over, I'd be like, then I'm going to kill myself.
Make a note of that.
So you need to give me a rope or a gun or something, because this is not happening. Well, unfortunate for this guy. I mean, unfortunately, with Lynyrd Skynyrd, you don't know who really is in the band anymore. I couldn't name any members. I know they still play.
That's what I was wondering. Is this even news? I found it on Fox News, which is kind of, they might be catering to a certain audience.
They might be. I mean, if he co-wrote Sweet Home Alabama and he was a musician in the band, he deserves at least some kind of a tip of the hat. I mean, we're not going to.
Is that number 2 on the list? Aretha Franklin, then him?
Yep, there you go.
We got one more.
What does that mean?
They always die in 3, man. 3.
Celebrity die in 3.
I don't know if I would say Ed King and Aretha
Oh,
Franklin.
he was here in Nashville, too. We should have had him on the podcast where he kicked the bucket. Numbers would have went way up for that. Yeah. All right, we got Ed King's interview. We did it last week, and he passed away today.
Well, let's just go ahead and fake one right now. Go.
I guess we could. No one would know. Hi, man. Okay.
We here with Ed King of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Hey, man. What's going on, man?
What were you thinking when you wrote Sweet Home Alabama?
Man, I just think I like Alabama a lot, and I just figured we were going to write something with the boys, and it's a good little song.
How do you feel about Neil Young?
Oh, Neil Young's a bastard, man. We don't like that man very much at all.
When you were on that airplane and it was crashing and killed all your bandmates, how did that make you feel? Were you scared?
Man, I wasn't on that plane, man. That's why I'm here right now, but... I'm not really feeling too good, so I'm gonna go ahead and go home. Is that all right, boys?
All right, man. Rip Ed King.
Sweet Home Alabama. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
For real though. Rest in peace,
everybody. That was Ed King from
King.
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Wow, we broke that was massive. I had to go to the bathroom. What just happened? You guys stuck.
It's no King? Aretha Franklin, but we'll tell you what we got. Okay, so we got another story.
All right.
So Papa John's is suing Papa John's.
This is ridiculous. Well, it's unfortunate for him that he started the company. He named the company after himself, and now he's about to the company. Wouldn't you give yourself like controlling of the board at all times? Like,
well, when your company goes public, and I believe Papa John's is a public traded company.
It is.
That you give up all that. It becomes down.
Oh, you can't buy 51?
I think you can maybe, but obviously.
If you want to make that money, man,
you gotta sell
you gotta
steak. Oh man,
I'm not sure.
Could you do that?
Maybe someone smarter than us could let us know.
We start Blame Your Brother, not a podcast. It's something, whatever it is. Comes a public traded company. Like, all right, guys. I mean, right now you own all this. It's yours. You have full autonomy. You can do it. Autonomy. You can do whatever you want with it. Or we can go public and you have to sell your rights, and we'll give you like 15% each in the company, and we're going to give you $28 million.
Give that to me once more.
Okay. You have to sign over. You got to make this company public. You're going to sign over the rights to Blame Your Brother. and they'll give you 15% stock in the company to all three of us. So 15, 15, 15, 45, and they're going to pay us $28 million.
$28 million, signed. Signed, baby.
Sign it.
So you'd
Sign
be
it.
out? Okay, well,
You take the 28 million. I mean, each of us could buy 5% each,
yeah,
and
but
then
you lose the name. And
we'd
they may
be
make
back
you
in the. We'd be
Oh,
back in
nah,
control.
y'all don't understand. I wouldn't be on the show anymore.
I probably wouldn't either,
I'd be on
bro.
the beach.
I'd
Y'all would have to find 3 more idiots.
I'd start my own show with that kind of money, man. I'd be like,
You would never hear or see from me again.
Well, it's 28 split 3 ways though.
Oh, it's split 3 ways?
Yeah.
What's my cut?
Well,
Are we
I mean,
doing 70, 30, 30?
I mean, I get the most, so
Why you get the most?
because I'm the talent. So I
Oh,
mean,
so
you
what
know.
are we talking like? You get like 30%, I get 40%, and John gets 30?
Sure, as long as I get the
Sweet.
most, I don't care what you guys do. So, all right, well, good luck. SavePapaJohns.com. Go there, check out the. I don't even know what is SavePapaJohns.com. Who knows? Well, good luck. He's screwed. You don't go around blasting the N-word in any form or fashion. He didn't even really say it in a. He said it in a bad way, but he didn't say it like in a, attack way. But bro, it's 2018. What are you doing? You're on a public conference call. Like you didn't read. Like I don't know, man. I'd like to talk to him and go, did you know right after you said that you were in trouble, or did it hit you?
No,
like,
he was saying it like as a he was trying to like stand up, like reverse, like in his head he was doing the right thing.
right? No, I get that. Yeah, I get that. I just want to know if he thought that or not. So, oh well. Well, good luck, Papa. It was a nice run while it lasted. You made some serious flaws along the way. Number one, you got political.
So you think they can still put his like face on a box when you get
Yeah.
a Papa John's pizza?
Yeah.
You just
They probably own the rights to his face, man, for sure. So,
so you don't think he should sue?
I mean, he can try whatever he wants. It's not going to work.
What if they just had to change the name to Papa's Pizza? Would you be okay with that?
I don't really care what they call it. It's pizza. It's good for what it is. It's like fast food pizza. I mean, it's my favorite of the fast food pizzas, but I don't go there anymore because the one in my town sucks. It's like a 2-hour wait on a Friday. I'm like, what? Nah, dude, I'm going to go down here and get a real pizza like in 15 minutes. So their service is not very good where I'm at. So I kind of abandoned them, but what are you going to do? All right. Well,
All right, well, you know what time
uh-oh.
it is.
Is it time for Dear John?
By the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right. It's time for Dear John. This is where John will be asked a question by someone. He will try to give the best advice to him, and Lee will read that to him. So here we go.
This one comes in. Dear John, I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter, Candy. My wife recently discovered 3 bottles of liquor in the car Candy drives.
Wonder why.
When confronted, she told my wife the booze was for an upcoming party. We grounded her. My wife called her ex-husband to tell him their daughter is grounded and he would have to pick her up on his visitation weekend as she won't be driving. He then informed my wife he was the one who brought her the booze. I'm dumbfounded and don't know how to handle this. Please advised from Shocked in Houston.
Oh gosh. Look, if you name your kid Bertha, you're destined for that child to grow up fat.
Wait.
You named your kid Candy.
Well, I think it's a fake name. It's in quotes.
Or
So,
what's her name? Diamond, maybe?
so name your kid stripper names. You get a stripper. That's your point.
Yeah.
That's that's your take.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering what the.
Go ahead.
Oh, anyway, I'm wondering why didn't the daughter just bring this out? It sounds fishy to me, you know. Why didn't the daughter just be like, "Well, Dad bought it for me"?
Because he didn't want to throw him under the
Yeah,
bus.
why,
That's
is
not
that
throwing under
your
the
go-to
bus.
move? I
If
thought
he actually bought it for me, yeah.
So
you understand that we give out life keys, and one of the keys was literally
Don't be a rat. Or-
snitches
Yeah,
get stitches.
That's not being a rat. That's. It's not. She's not telling
All
the
right.
police.
I'm not
Brother
telling
man,
John
hold on,
about the
bro-
underground ACLU broadcast
He
anymore.
said
for
it
sure.
himself. I bought the beer for her.
Brother man, I sell you
First
weed.
off, it was
Hold on.
liquor.
I sell you weed, okay? I roll you a joint. You're driving down the street, we get pulled over. Officer said, "Where'd you get the weed from?" You just go back. A guy right there sold it to me.
That's different.
His
How is
name
that
is
different?
David, and he lives at
Because-
123 Nowhere Lane. I will take
Number
you there
one,
right now, mister.
What's the difference? Go ahead.
It's
The
not a
difference
snitch.
is
So I snitch if it's true.
that's not.
if it's true.
Write that down. That's a key.
There you go. It's only snitches true. Stitches make stitches. Anyway, that's not a. They're not the cops. They're not the police.
Okay.
So it's not. He's
They're
not.
they're her authoritative figure, John. You do not sell your siblings or dad or mom out if they do something that's behind the scenes of what they're supposed to do, man. Like,
He flat out said, "I'm the one that got the alcohol for her."
yeah, well, he should have played it cooler, probably. I mean, he shouldn't have just gave up his hand like that. But go ahead. I don't want to mess your vibe. I was just trying to clarify.
I think that they concocted this just so he wouldn't have to pick her up, so she would drive to him. I think the father's being. I mean,
well, how do they handle it? If it is, let's just say it is a factual story. How do they handle a situation where dad that does not live at the house is violating rules of a house she lives in primarily? What's some advice in that situation? I mean, it's got to be tough, right?
I mean, it is. I mean, I'd probably be like, dude, what's your problem? If she would have gotten pulled over by a police officer, that'd have been really, really bad news for your daughter that you put her in that position.
I mean, come on. We were all drinking at that age. What's the big deal?
I wasn't. 16 was not. But I was square.
This is a scenario here. Brother, we were drinking St. Ides at Explorer Camp. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't say we were doing anything.
Come on, khakis. That's your new name, khakis.
You were drinking that St. Ides with us, bro.
Not really.
Oh, John, were you there for that?
I wasn't there for that.
You were drinking it. Stop. Anyway, okay, go ahead. So
I have a more sophisticated taste than cheap malt liquor.
we were literally teenagers, bro.
I'm white bread, okay? I'm Mr. Khaki.
So if no one knows the story, we were in Police Explorers, and we were all teenagers, and we had one teenager. It was a girl. Her name was Kathina, and she looked a little bit older than her age would say. So she went down to the local gas station,
wearing uniform.
Yes, that looked like a police uniform, and bought us a couple of St. Ides and brought them back for us, and some smokes as well, I believe. So
you're lucky your boy John didn't snitch you out.
Yeah, I know. I remember. So back in the day, we used to smoke, and before we smoked, I told John, I go, "I'll never smoke, man. That's the worst thing you can ever do, man." And I walked. What's the story? I walked by you, and he was smoking a cigarette while we were working the flea market. Didn't I take the cigarette and smash it? And I go, "You don't be smoking, man. That's bad for you." And then it would come together later that the person who got me to start smoking cigarettes was John. So there we go. What comes around goes around. But anyway, so you just tell the mom to have a conversation with dad, who probably they don't get along with anyway, right?
Probably not. I mean, but I would tell the dad, like, look, you need to have a conversation with your daughter. You need to let her know what you did was wrong, and that you shouldn't have done that, and that
that is a horrible
Now wait,
idea.
who has the conversation, the stepdad or the mom?
No, the stepdad needs to be the mom.
Okay. What do you think, Lee?
Oh, I thought he was saying you were telling the mom was trying to tell the dad that he needed to have the dad that bought the liquor already. Like, you need to talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
That the dude's already proven that he is in no fit responsibility to be educating or teaching this kid. Why would you say you need to go have a talk with him?
Because he's the one that did it.
You need to be going to the courthouse and revoking those visitations.
That's what I'm saying is, like, if he doesn't do that, then action
What doesn't
needs
do
to be
what?
taken.
Have a talk with her?
Yeah.
Are you going to sit there and watch the talk? You have
No.
to record it?
I'm
You're just going to put your
take
faith
it-
in him. I trust you, ex-husband.
She was married to the man at one time. She loved him at one
Help me out.
time.
It's just
I don't
There's
know.
gotta
That
be
ain't
something.
necessarily true. You didn't necessarily
Not
love her
necessarily,
one
but I
time.
mean,
They may have just been a one and done.
okay. So that's John's idea. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Do it up. That's John's advice for this week. Just keep doing what you're doing. I don't know that's what he said, but all right. So if you want Oh.
So let me give you a major key.
Right into it.
Want to know the major keys?
This is not the
You're in the
key.
right place.
I want the key.
I can't help but be bad.
So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, it's time for the Major Key of the Week, where we take a lesson from today's episode and put it up there for you to live your life by. Lee, what is our Major Key of the Week?
All right, well, I think everyone was pretty sold on it's not a snitch if it's true.
Yeah, I dig it.
The other one we had was Better Call Papa. I don't know.
I'd say we got to go with the snitch one, man. We learned something today, which is what? Something.
We learned if it's not a snitch.
If it's true,
it's not a snitch.
It's not a snitch.
There you go.
There
That's your major
That's
key
your
of the
major
week. Take that into the communities and see what happens to you. So there we go. Major key of the week.
I got the keys now.
All right, so that's your major key. You got to give some shout-outs that I wanted to get to. This Saturday is the Rockin' Pod Expo. It's going to be in Nashville. If you go to rockinpod.com, you can get all the details, but it's going to be all day Saturday. They have a concert on Friday, a comedy show on Sunday night. So go check out the Rockin' Pod. I'll be there. I don't know if Lee or John's going to be there.
I'm going to try to be there.
Okay, so we're going to have hopefully at least 2/3 of the
What time does that start?
It's all day. So
There's also a Mikah Wyman concert at 3 o'clock, East Coast Comedy as well.
All right. So, yeah, there you go. A couple of options there. Yeah, Rockin' Pod. Go check it out. I was going to get my Korn vinyl album signed that I got in the mail yesterday, and guess what I found out the day I got it in the mail? He's not going to be there this year.
What?
Jonathan Davis's wife, the lead singer of Korn, passed away, and so he has to go to the funeral. So sometimes tragedy strikes. I hate that. I was looking forward to getting that album signed since I bought it specifically for that. But, hey.
I'll sign it for you, dog.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Also, let's not forget about our bet we made with Not Playing Stupid. The NFL season is upon us. It's going to be here in just a few weeks. And first week, Titans play the Dolphins. And we have our future invested in the Titans. If the Titans win, Sal from Not Playing Stupid is going to cut all of his hair off and donate it to charity. And if the Dolphins win, we are going to have to wear jerseys he's going to send us, which are Miami jerseys, and possibly wear wigs in the process. So that's something to look forward to if you're a football fan. If you don't like football, check that out. Pay attention to the game. I mean, we should all be rooting for the Titans, though, because his hair is literally going to charity, and the charity is young children with cancer. So
if you're not rooting for the Titans, you hate children with cancer.
You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
a horrible
Lee,
person.
how do you
am I? I'm the bad guy?
No, how do you justify rooting for the Dolphins in this scenario?
Maybe if you're a long life fan.
No, but this is for the kids.
So your fandom is one game is more important than
Well, honestly, regardless
lives?
regardless of whether the Dolphins or the Titans win, if the Dolphins win, I was going to try to guilt him into cutting his hair off regardless.
He might,
just
anyway.
FYI.
Yeah, he might.
So there's that. I don't know.
All right, well, be rooting for the Titans, for the kids. We're going to make a banner of that.
Also, like, wigs are cool, you know?
Yeah, wigs are cool. All right, well, I just want to shout that out. Rock Pod Expo, come see us Saturday. Come hang out. We'll have a good time. We'll have a few beers, have a good time, all that, blah, blah, blah. So hope to see you guys there. And that's episode 106 in the books, guys. So what you need to do is go to the website, blameyourbrother.net. That's where you get all the tasty information about the show. We got all the podcast episodes on there, all 106. And then we've got articles from Adam Cox and Josh Baker. Josh Baker is actually putting out an album this week that everybody needs to get on board. So follow him on social media. We retweet a lot of stuff, so just look for that. But he's coming out with an album, and it sounds really good. I've gotten a couple of the tracks ahead of time, and
I listened to one track, and it really surprised me because a lot of his other stuff was alternative. But he put out this, like, old-school funky stuff. Yeah, I dug it, man. It was
Listen
good.
to it on headphones. That vocals are bouncing back and forth, left to right channel. It's wicked. He said it's going to be a weird album. So definitely be looking for that album. I wanted to plug that as well. Josh Baker, you've made some incredible music, man. It's wild. But anyways, go to the website. You can read articles by him. He's also a writer as well as a musician. And while you're there, you can buy things through Amazon, you need to click on our Amazon link. It will take you back to the Amazon website, make all your purchases, but we get a small kickback of the sales. Basically, they're tracking you went through our site to buy the stuff, so they're going to take care of us. So help us do that as well. It kind of helps the show out. Follow us on all the social media. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to YouTube, please, where you can come hang out with us on Thursday nights. Also, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Nashville, we are streamed on Radio Vegas Rocks. So if you go to radiovegas.rocks, you can go check that website out. You can stream a bunch of great shows. Not Playing Stupid's on there. We're on there. A bunch of great shows are on there. So go check it out and tell them you heard about it on the show here. Also, if you want to email the show, there is a box for that. It says contact or email. You can make up an email. You can use your real email. Whatever works, we'll get it. So if you want John to answer a question for you, advice, or if you got something for us you want to tell us, use that form on the website, and that way it gets straight to us. And there's even an option to leave a voicemail on the side of it, and it comes to us as well. So there's many options to get in touch with us. There's really no excuses not to do it, and go listen to
How many other podcasts do you have that much access to?
Not a lot. I mean, we may be the only one.
Just saying.
We may be the only one out there. We're the unicorns of podcasting. All right, well, I guess that's the show. So, Lee, with that being said, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.